everybody. Unlike Bao, I am a very bad public speaker, and I can only say things that are written down or I have memorized. So I'm just gonna do poems and not, yeah. One, my mother and I don't have dinner table conversations out of courtesy. We don't want to remind each other of our accents. Her voice is a Vietnamese lullaby sung to an empty bed, the taste of her hometown still kicking in the back of her teeth. My voice is bleach. My voice has no history. My voice is the ringing of an empty picture frame, the frequency of a TV turned off. 2, my birth name is Hieu Nguyen, but today I don't know myself as anything other than Huey, and Hugh is sitting in preschool trying to say the word orange, to say the word bathroom, to say home, to say friend, and today I'm forgetting how to say the simple things to my mother. The words that linger in my periphery, it is a rearview mirror dangling from the wires. I am only fluent in apologies. 3, when I look at my childhood photos, the ones taken by my mother, I have to remind myself that in that moment, I understood her. That in that moment, I knew what she was saying. She was saying, smile. 4, my mother's favorite television shows are all 90s sitcoms. The ones with laugh tracks. The pre-recorded emotion to cue her when to laugh. 5, in the first grade, I mastered my tongue. I cleaned my speech, and during parent-teacher conferences, the teacher was surprised that my mother was Asian. She just assumed I was adopted. She assumed that this voice was the same one I started out with. 6, sometimes when I watch home movies, I don't even understand myself. My childhood is a foreign film. All of my favorite memories have been dubbed in English. 7, as she holds a pair of chopsticks, a friend asks me why I am using a fork. I tell her it's much easier. She says in the voice the same octave as my grandmother, she says, but this is so much cooler. 8, I am a fortune cookie. I am American flag made in China. I am every pair of Nikes in my closet. I am Lian Chin. I am Panda Express. I am white paint, and I can still feel the brush strokes on the roof of my mouth. 9, in Vietnamese, the name Hieu means pious. It means devotion. It means tradition. It means understanding. In English, the name Huey means nothing. 10, I've accepted the fact that I'm no longer Vietnamese, just Asian. I'm just the clip art, the poster boy of whitewash. My skin has been burning easier these days. My voice box is shrinking. I have rinsed it out too many times. My house is a silent film. My house is infested with subtitles. 11. That's all. That's all. I have nothing else to say. I'm gonna do another poem. If you guys are okay with that. Oh, yeah. When I was 3, I found a toothbrush in the trash. I picked it up, washed it off, and placed it back on the counter. Later that day, I found it on the bathroom floor, snapped at the neck. When my mother told me you were leaving, I sat in the doorway, convinced you would come back. I was so sure. Last winter, I outgrew your jacket. The sleeves cut into my shoulders how your hands would. The way they gripped, I should have known you would outgrow this family. I was 8 the last time I made a Father's Day card. I coated my hands in glue, peeled it off when it dried, stuffed the shreds of my palms in a mailbox. I didn't have your address. I was just hoping my hands just knew where they came from. I hope you got it. I hope it still knocks on your door. When I was 13, your brother brought me to your office. My coat thin and useless like a spineless umbrella, I left a trail of December straight to your desk. Your desk, cluttered with photos of your new family, they smile like they don't know where you came from. You didn't look at me. Your brother grabbed you by the shoulders and told you, look at him. Look at him. When you were finally brave enough to face your haunting, brave enough to see the leftovers rotting inside our fridge, you looked at me like an empty wallet, like court papers hung up. At my high school graduation, my aunt told me that our voices were so similar. I began talking to myself, told myself how proud you were, told myself that you were coming back. I often wonder if I would be informed if you died. Or would I just know? Would it feel any different? I imagine your hearse. It looks like a moving truck, but this time only one box. You haven't died yet. You live only 3 miles away, and sometimes I find myself driving down your street. I don't know what I'm looking for. It's hard to admit that I miss you. Every time I drop a football or nick myself shaving, there is still time for these lessons. I want you to teach me everything. Sometimes I still talk to myself. I still convince myself that you're just at work. You're just at work. Sometimes I find you next to me at a stoplight and I want to cause a traffic jam. Sometimes I hope you're not wearing your seatbelt. I hope the windshield will kiss your face like a dull razor, the road, arms open and ready to catch. But sometimes I imagine that we are in the same car, just heading home. Thank you.